It is early March and we're beginning to find our feet in Lina. Thankfully, we haven't had any more cold snaps, even though the nights still drop cold here in the mountains. To make life easier, we moved our bed into the top floor of the main house and made it into a kind of studio, with living room, bedroom and kitchen all in one. It is much easier to keep warm this way, and with all the other rooms unoccupied, we can tackle each room one by one. A lot has happened these past few weeks, and we've had lots of little and not so little setbacks, including being told that the car we bought in December is now a write-off. The engine is fried. So we have to find a new car, which is another unwelcome expense. Cars are ridiculously expensive in Greece, and even a second-hand car costs a fortune, despite already having many miles on the clock. With lots of other unexpected expenses rearing their ugly head, we felt downhearted and vulnerable last week. We knew things weren't going to be easy, but last week we were ready to give up and go home. We just need things to get a little bit easier now. But the last few days have been beautiful, with gorgeous sunshine, some much welcomed warmth, and vast, deep blue, cloudless skies. And so we've been spending as much time as possible outside, working in the garden. Mother Nature is definitely waking up, and spring is turning the landscape into a delightful palette of springtime blossoms and budding greens. The last time I saw the delicate pinks of almond blossoms was when I travelled across Spain and Portugal in my early 20s, and I'd forgotten just how beautiful they are. My favourite time of the day is now the late afternoon and early evening, just when the sun begins to drop in the sky, and the sunlight turns everything into a delicious, rich shade of gold. I love to sit on our fortress wall at that time of day and just soak in the atmosphere. This is one of the trees we've sadly had to decimate a little bit because it was blocking everything out, and we just needed to give it some space. So especially some of the olives were, as you can see there where Simon is, there's an olive tree that had to grow out of its way to the left to actually get any light at all. And those are the kind of conscious decisions that you need to make. I'm busy on a different pile. Let me just take you there. And it's the same with the olives. The olives have grown so tall that we really had to go and do something about it, because they just become unmanageable basically. So with these, again, we've had to cut out the tops just to be able to make them more manageable, and they bear better fruit that way as well. So, and then we've got all these. So these are the ones that we've cut last, and same process again. We've cut these. So these are the bare branches that we have left over then, and then they will be woven into fencing, which we'll just use around the plot. So to be really ecological about it all, and just be as respectful and make use of the resources that we have as much as we can. And that's where Simon is attacking one of the oaks, wild oaks. They're horrible. They are lethal. Look at that, full of spikes. They get everywhere, and it goes everywhere. It grows in every nook and cranny
blowing.
So yeah, we're really trying to get on top of those because at some point they destroy the walls as well. Yeah. They just get in and push everything out. Thursday is mail day. We tend to walk into our local village to go and pick up any post that may have arrived with the local taverna for us. Physical mail is a rare occasion here anyway, and the postal system here in Greece is, let's call it, inventive. With many houses and roads not even having a name or physical address registered, receiving mail is a haphazard exercise. One of our Greek friends gave us a philosophical piece of advice about sending or receiving anything through the Greek mail system. He said, you order and you pay for whatever you wish to send or receive, and then you just assume it's lost. Then, when whatever it is you've ordered or sent arrives safe and sound, you'll be ecstatic with happiness and have another little reason to celebrate your existence. We are beginning to learn to go with that. Siga siga, slowly slowly, or gently gently as the Greeks say. The most joyful thing in the past week was the unpacking of our beloved healing tools. As we released our precious cargo one by one from the boxes that they'd been entombed in for months now, was such a joy. Me reuniting with my precious crystals, and Simon unpacking all his Tibetan singing bowls and waking them up from their deep slumber gave us a precious afternoon of pure joy. So, what's next? We have some really important decisions to make and decide what we can afford to invest our money in. The unexpected cost of another car has set us back a lot, as we were going to invest this money into a yurt. But we do feel it's important to have a yurt on the grounds, not only as a sacred space for us to retreat to, but also as a meeting place for others to come and receive healing and learn about a more balanced way of life in harmony with Mother Nature and the self. It's pretty scary when your financial resources get drained so quickly by ill fate. Let's just hope that this was the last of it and we can begin to move forwards now. And despite all the setbacks and recent ups and downs, and many a long talk about what to do, both Simon and I are still absolutely committed to making Lina and Greece our home. and we look forward to continue sharing that journey with you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed our video, do hit the subscribe button on our channel. It will help us grow, and you will always be notified when our next vlog is released. Wishing you a beautiful day wherever you are. With love, Simon and Bee.